Tanya Cabala with the Muskegon Channel, and I'm here this afternoon at North Muskegon Middle School with some students and with Mr. Jarvis, their teacher, and just really excited because one of the most favorite things I like to do is see what kids are doing and especially what they're doing to protect the environment. So we're here to hear about a project, and to start off, I would just like a little summary of it from Mr. Jarvis. Tell us
Sure.
what you're doing here.
Yeah, so what's cool about what happened with our students this year is that this all started with us walking around the community. We did a walkabout and we identified local environmental issues that we were dealing with here in North Muskegon. I mean, they identified a whole handful of issues. One of the big things that we identified though and learned about was the plight of the Monarch Butterfly. And so the students became aware of this, that the butterfly population has dropped something like 90% of its original size in the last 20 years alone, and is being currently considered by the Fish and Wildlife Service to be listed on the endangered species list. So to address that and understanding the life needs of the butterfly, the students were empowered to do something about this and decided to make what's called a Monarch Waystation.
Now, one thing I really like about the work that Mr. Jarvis does is a lot of the ideas for what kids are going to do on a project come from themselves. They think about, they do the research, they find out the information, and then they decide what they're going to do to help with the problem. Maybe it would be helpful to know I don't know, what's the most important thing about this project? Maybe CJ?
I think it teaches us that by doing small things, we can make a big impact in the world and in our community.
Oh, sure. I mean, if students all over were doing this, that would make a huge impact for the Monarchs. Who would like to tell us what specifically you did this nice, I think you have a website and you have some posters, but you also planted some very special plants. Who wants Maisie?
We planted a lot of milkweeds and native plants to the area at different homes and places around Muskegon.
Well, and why is milkweed so special to monarchs? I think there's something very important. Mila?
It's the only thing that they can lay eggs on, and it's the only thing that monarch caterpillars can eat.
Yeah, monarchs, they have to have it. It's not kind of a choice. They have to have it, don't they? So you planted a lot of milkweeds in a bunch of different locations?
Yes.
On the school property, CJ?
We have 2 on city property. We have one that we call our Pocket Garden Waystation, and we have one down by one of our lakes, and then we have 5 different locations on private properties.
Oh, so you had to talk to people about agreeing to do that. I know I looked at the one you call the pocket one. It's by the elementary staff parking lot. And so, I think that's good because it has a sign explaining it. What was the most important thing you learned from this, Isabel?
I think the most important thing we learned from it is kind of like how to work as a team to fix a problem that's not just locally but almost internationally as well.
That's a good thing to learn. Oliver, what about you?
What do I think for
What did you learn, or the most important thing you learned doing this project?
I learned that even though we're just kids, we can still make just as big of an impact as adults.
Or maybe even more, really. Addison, what do you think?
I think they were both very correct in putting those ideas together, just as a community. If we can just get a small group of people together, it can make a huge difference.
Autumn, did you have some ideas?
Honestly, anyone can do it. Make a big change doing a small thing.
And Nate, what's the most important thing you learned from this project?
Probably
Like, you gotta, like we could have just done this project and just done it, but like, I know I cared and like, I know other people actually cared. So you gotta really care about this for you to really do this, because you could just go through it and be done with it. I got a grade, but you really should care about it and try to, make a big difference.
Oh, absolutely right. That's a good lesson for adults as well as for kids. Mr. Jarvis, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, what I'm so excited and energized about this is that, like you pointed out, is that this was student-led,
Yeah.
right? We, as a community, identified an issue, and how many times do you look on the news and like see a sad story or see something, and it just kind of washes by? Well, these guys decided to do something, right? So they're like, all right, we became aware of an issue, let's organize, let's figure this out, and through the help with the Great Lakes Stewardship Initiative funds, that's a grant that we were able to receive and solidify some money that we could actually implement the idea. And like the students are saying, that they're making a positive impact and they're leaving a legacy. And it's going to inspire future students of mine, because I'll bring this up and I'll tell the whole story, and community members, and this is our future right here, right? And so I feel really good to be a part of that and to help steer them and to help like give them the opportunity to do something good in their community. So that's what it's all about for me. So
Well, I know I'm very inspired by it. You guys are going to be the leaders of the future. And I can't wait to go to the milkweeds and see if there's going to be monarchs on them. So take a look. And there, we will have some links that we can provide about the project. And I want to thank you all for the work that you've done. And hope to see you leading other efforts in our community, right?
it's just the beginning, right, guys?
Got it?
Yes.
It's very
So Tanya Cabala with the Muskegon Channel.
Thank you.